I think that all went pretty well. I got home at 1 p.m. and it was a very long day for me, from 6 a.m. to 1 p.m. But it went well, and yeah, after coming home I tried to record a video about how the appointment actually went with the internist, but I was way too tired to do that, and I just started rambling about so many details. So the video got very, very long, and I decided to do it a few days later, so that's now. I had to stay in bed for almost 2 days to recover from that one appointment, so it was quite intense for me. The doctor was really, really nice. He really tried to make a connection, and I could feel that, and yeah, that felt quite special. He actually really took the time to connect with me as a person, and he was very honest and very open about what he thought and what he wanted to do or not wanted to do, and why not. And an interesting thing is, very surprising, was that I thought this appointment was just for the general internist, but it wasn't. This was already the Center for Mitochondrial Medicine. I'm like, what? I didn't know that. And they didn't have a sign there. It was just the polyclinic for internal medicine. So it was quite a surprise, but a happy one, because that saves me one trip to that hospital. So that's good. Yeah, and this doctor said that from the report of the CFSME clinic, what he took from that is that they already diagnosed CFSME, but that they wanted to exclude that it could be mitochondrial disease. So that was quite confusing as well, because that's not what they told me, and that's also not how I interpret the report from them. So yeah, that's quite strange. But he did want to do some tests for it, even though he also said that from that report, he wouldn't think of mitochondrial disease. So that's also another confusing thing. Yeah, which I think is one of the reasons why I'm vlogging about this. Because when you have fatigue, and probably with many other diseases as well that are kind of vague or not so clear or not so known, you get into this gray area, and it's like nobody really knows. I laugh about it now, but it's not always funny. And he also said that, okay, I'm not going to do a muscle biopsy from your upper leg if the blood tests that we're going to do now and the urine samples that we took and etc., if they don't point towards the possibility of mitochondrial disease. And I said, okay, but if these first tests don't show anything about mitochondrial disease, if you take that muscle biopsy, could it come up from that research then? And he said, yes, it could, but also the other way around. So in the first exams, we find some things that point to mitochondrial disease, and then the muscle biopsy might not show anything. And he said, in the end, we cannot diagnose anything 100% sure. So it's like, it's so confusing. What to do with that? What do you do with that? And he was honest. He said that the muscle biopsy, it's very expensive. It's an expensive research. So he wouldn't want to do that if nothing points to mitochondrial disease. But he also said maybe you do want to get that done, because if it does give you the diagnosis of mitochondrial disease, then you have that diagnosis, even though it doesn't really matter if it is mitochondrial disease or ME, CFS, because for both isn't a treatment anyway. Seriously? Wow, it's the same thing that the scientist at the CFSME Medical Center in Amsterdam said to me when I was thinking maybe it's Lyme. So I asked him, could it also be Lyme? And he said, well, in the end, it doesn't matter if it's Lyme's disease or CFSME because there isn't a cure for either of them. What? So this is the second time that I hear something like that. And it's always quite, shocking. I get it from their perspective, but it's definitely not a perspective I share. I'd really like to know what I'm dealing with. And I do believe that there are treatments. So that's, interesting to experience people telling you stuff like that. Anyways, so they did some tests, and in 8 weeks I'm gonna have the results. I'm gonna go see the doctor again, so another trip to Nijmegen. And he was very, very kind and nice, even though he said confusing things. He was a really nice man. So it feels good, even though it's confusing and I don't agree with everything. It feels good. So that's nice. I think that's about it. I think that's it. I could share a lot more, but I think this is more than enough. So, I'll make more videos. I am making more videos already, and I will just keep sharing them when I'm ready. There are stuff that I want to maybe put together or edit or whatever. So I'm just taking my time for that, and I'm doing my best to not make that now in another pressure goal that I have to share it when I make it or as soon as possible. So I'm sharing stuff sometimes later than I actually made them, because the last thing I need is something else that is stressing me out, or that I have to do. So that's how I'm doing it. With as much ease and relaxation as possible. Thank you for watching, and till next time.